2, here we go.
Hello and welcome to Delightful, Delicious, Delovely. My name is Christina Lees, and today I'm going to be making a healthy, spicy, vegan red beans and rice. I'm actually not going to make the rice because you know how to make rice. You make your rice cooker or on the stove. I'm actually going to, when I make mine later, I'm going to use this. This is called red cargo rice or Thai rice berry. It's more like a wild rice. It takes longer to cook like brown rice does rather than white. It has a lot of iron and calcium. I think iron is something that vegans often have a hard time getting enough of, but it's maybe not a superfood, but way better for you than regular rice. So as is black rice, which you can get both of these things pretty inexpensively in Asian markets. Black rice is a superfood. Black rice used to be reserved just for the royalty. Yeah, so there. So this is easy peasy. I'm going to heat up some olive oil. While I do that, I'm going to add up, it's probably 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to point out again the miracle of regrowing scallions. So these 3 scallions were I cut them down to here, right there. So that part, I put in some water, didn't even reach the top of the glass, put it in the window with some water and some sun, and now look, they've regrown. Now I can take these guys with their little roots and plant them outside on my patio with my herbs and regrow these things, and they get really thick and sturdy. You can cut them like this, or they get really 4 feet long and really almost like a bark thing going on with them. Anyway, heating up some olive oil. So yeah, I'm not going to make rice. Also, I recommend, this is some field roast vegan sausage. If you want to add some sausage to your red beans, it's a good, it's nice. Jingle jangle, I think that might be my Foster. Is that Hayden? Anyway, I'm not going to make these today, but I made them in my original blog post, and I recommend that you fry them up in a pan separate from the beans until they're sort of crispy and seared on the outside, and then add them to the red beans and rice once everything's cooked, and almost like a garnish. Otherwise, they cooked with the beans, it just seem soggy, and it's kind of soggy, yucky, and I don't have a hand towel. I'll be right back. Hand towel. Hayden, do you want to say hi again? Come here. This is Hayden, my current Foster, little 1-year-old French Bulldog. She's awesome. She's beefy. She's super, super sweet. She needs a home. Oh, everybody's here. All right. This is my daughter, Moxie Lady. Right, Moxie Lady? And where's my son? Dex, come here. Hey, Dex, don't run away. Oh, and there's my son, Dexter. He's becoming an old man. He's very sweet. All right, you guys. You can F off now. Okay, I'm going to add to this hot oil, this is 1 large or half a large white onion or brown onion or yellow onion, and 1 red bell pepper. While these soften, I'm actually going to add also to this. This is a to taste thing. I'm going to add, because I had them, 5 red jalapenos and 1 Anaheim chili I had. You can add jalapenos to your taste. 1, none, 5. I'm just going for it. I like things spicy, and I'm adding those things in there. Okay. While these soften a bit, you know what I forgot to add? This is 4 celery stalks, diced. I'm of the opinion that both celery and parsley are not just garnish. I actually like the flavor that they give things. I think that they're important and add a really wonderful, clean crispness to things you use them in. Okay, so I was just in Chicago, where I just sort of introduced 90210 the musical. It's a musical parody of 90210. I saw it in New York in the fall. They invited me to come out and see it. I loved it. I was nervous at first. I had no idea whether the show was going to suck, or if they were going to suck, or if they were going to treat me in a sucky way, or whatever. Anyway, they're brilliant. The cast is brilliant. They're super talented. The music, it's all original music. Really, really funny. Everybody's unbelievably great. And I got to do that again in Chicago. And then I did a little signing thing with any fans that wanted to have their program signed or have a picture taken with me. And one of the girls, when she pulled out her phone to have a picture taken, she did this. What? Doing a selfie with this light on my face. So awesome. I will show you what it looks like. 2 photos taken right here in the kitchen. One without, like this, and one, oh shit, like this. I got this thing for $15 on Amazon. It needs charging, I guess, but it came charged. I'm super happy with it. I don't think I'll use it, carry it on my phone all the time, but if I'm ever going out to a party or whatever the fuck, I'm putting that fucker on there because who doesn't like to be lit better? And it's lighting from both sides, which is great. So it removes all shadows and it's a good thing. While this softens, let me show you a little video from the show. I don't think they mind. I'm going to, while this cooks, I'll let you sit back and watch the entrance of my character, Emily Valentine, in Chicago this past week. Isn't that great? So much fun. The show is irreverent and, you know, it's a bit of an homage. It's a total homage. It's a love letter to the show, but also really funny and snarky and dirty and fun. Okay, while this is continuing to... Hayden, can you not do that? What if he didn't bark while I was cooking? Moxie, tell her. What was I going to say? Something super important. Oh, okay, about beans. Now, I get a great joy out of buying dry beans because they cost like $1 for a pound or 69 cents for a pound, depending where you buy it. Or if you buy it bulk, you can get it even cheaper. Beans, there's a reason that poor communities live on rice and beans. They are inexpensive. I get a real kick out of starting with dry beans because it controls the amount of sodium that's in the recipe and because it's just so much cheaper than canned beans. There's 2 things you should do when you're cooking dry beans, though. One of 2 things. You need to soak them. Either soak them in water covered overnight, just in regular room temperature water overnight, or you can do a thing called a quick soak, which is bring some water, put the beans in water, bring it to a boil, cover it, take it off. Once it's come to a boil, take it off the heat and let it sit for an hour. What this does is breaks down the component in beans that makes you gassy when you eat them. So I don't know anybody. I mean, I feel like if you live on as much beans and plants as I do, that ceases to be a problem after like the first couple of weeks of a big diet change. So I personally, TMI, don't typically have that issue, but many people do, especially if they're not used to eating a lot of beans or a lot of vegetables in their diet. And so the quick soak thing removes that, and it also makes them cook a little faster too. So better just to have a natural degassing, right? All right, it's too graphic and gross. All right, to these softened, I'm going to add, this is 3 or 4 chipotle peppers in adobo, which come either canned or in little jars like this, chopped up really fine. These are pretty spicy. If you don't like spice, either go with less or eliminate it entirely. In an effort to make the bean, just add some vegetable flair more than, it's quite a bit of vegetables in here if you consider onion and celery and bell pepper to be vegetables, and of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? I'm going to add 2 small zucchini that I diced as well. Because why the heck not? All right. And now here's where the spices I'm going to add. And this was 3 or 4 cloves of garlic that I minced. Always add garlic later in the sautéing process because garlic burns easily, and burned garlic is fucked garlic. You don't want burned garlic. It's bitter and gross. So add it just when you've only got a minute or so, or if there's enough moisture in the pan to keep it from burning. And then to this, I'm going to add, this is dry thyme. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. Actually 2 teaspoons. It was 2 teaspoons. That was 1 tablespoon, which is 3 teaspoons. So what you should have put in here is 2 teaspoons. Not the end of the world. I'm not big on measuring. This is just a Cajun seasoning. You can use any kind you like. There's many, many kinds on the market. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of a Creole seasoning. And I'm just going to add, this is like 3 or 4 bay leaves, just whole bay leaves. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of a dry rub. This one is some silly thing called roadkill. Makes all critters taste great. It's kind of nasty that I have this, but it was for my meat-eating boyfriend of years past. It itself is just spices. Why would they call it roadkill? Roadkill. Anyway, I have it. I own it and I'm using it. If I can open it. No, I can't open it, so I won't be using it. I'm going to get my other rub. Hold on. I have this steak seasoning that I bought when I made my vegan roast beef steak thing that I did in Video Vegan, one of my early Video Vegan things. I'm going to put a tablespoon of this in there just to give it a little bit of a meaty taste. Well, not meaty, but you know what I'm saying. All right. This is really easy. And this, by the way, I love these bean recipes, especially when sometimes I work in post-production in reality TV. Done a lot of, it's called story producing, what I do. And it's a regular cubicle job, which is sort of surreal for me. And it's regular hours. It's a Monday through Friday, every day, 10 to 7. And I'm, for the first time since like grammar school, I'm packing lunches. When you work in the kind of fields as an actor, or they feed you, you don't bring food to work, but now I'm bringing food to work. And this kind of thing freezes really well, and it also works really well as a lunch at work. All right, now I'm going to add, this is 1 pound of small red beans. You can use, really? Stop that. So as I was saying, is a pound of small red beans. You can use large red beans, you can use kidney beans, you can use any kind of beans you like. You can even use black beans. All right. And to this, I'm going to add 5 cups of stock. This is pretty colorful. It looks really nice. All right. And I'm gonna add, this is 5 cups of stock. That was 4 actually. There's the 5th. And so that should be stock. Actually, as you can tell, that was just water, that was not stock. Now I'm adding, usually I use that Better Than Bouillon, jarred bouillon stuff. Today I'm using Marmite. You could use Marmite, you could use Vegemite. Works really well. This stuff works really, really well for vegan gravy stocks. I have a couple of vegan gravy recipes on my blog. And Marmite is the brown sort of gravy, meaty gravy element to those recipes. And that's kind of it. What's going to happen now is I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to simmer it for about 2 hours or until the beans are soft. And if it gets too dried out, just add more stock or more water. You might want to add some salt and pepper to this. Taste it first, especially if you're using a bouillon, because they tend to be very, very, very salty. And yeah, so also what I like, a little secret of mine, maybe it's not a secret, but I do it, is that right before I serve it, I either take a potato masher or an immersion blender and sort of mash or puree, I don't know, a quarter of it, so that the beans aren't just like beans on a plate. They have some sort of a mushy gravy, sort of a stewy consistency to them. Not all of it, not even half, but just a quarter or so. And yeah, that's it. That is it. That is my spicy and healthy vegan red beans and no rice. And red rice, red cover rice or Thai rice berry. And that is it. You garnish this with a little bit with some sliced jalapenos or with some scallions and some hot sauces. My favorite hot sauce is Crystal. I like that Crystal stuff. And that is that. I'm sorry I'm rambling. These are my Instagram and my Twitter handles. And thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. And until next time, thanks. Bye.
If I was a good girl, well, she put my hair in curls. So there ain't no use in none of y'all hanging around.
You hanging around.